Staff Sergeant with the Alberta Internet Child Exploitation team. On November 13th, 2025, the Southern Alberta Internet Child Exploitation team executed a search warrant at a residence in Calgary where an offender was arrested, and we seized 2 cell phones, a laptop, and a tablet. We are alleging this high school student was using artificial intelligence to create child sexual abuse and exploitation material of fellow students throughout Calgary high schools. This offender was charged with making and possessing and distributing child sexual abuse exploitation material, as well as criminal harassment. Our biggest takeaway from today is that we need people to understand that this is not a joke, it's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior. The Alert ICE team is offering full support to all the affected persons. We're also asking that anybody in the community supports these victims by not sharing, by reporting, and condoning this type of behavior. The offender has had his first appearance in court, and next court is set for January 8th. Now I'll take questions if there are any.
Staff Sergeant, is it a Calgary high school student who's charged, or?
The offender and the victims are all from a Calgary high school, which we will not name because they're all young persons.
Is it just one high school, or
no,
a bunch of different?
There's other related high schools.
Can you elaborate, Staff Sergeant, please, on the message that you were just chatting about a second or two ago regarding how teens may think it's a prank, but it's not?
It's not. Anytime you use anything to create child sexual abuse and exploitation material, which was until October 10th referred to as child pornography, it is an offense. You can draw it, you can talk about it, you can write stories, or use digital means to create it. It is still a criminal offense.
And the victims, you're not going to talk about their high schools, but can you tell us ages or grades or anything like that?
My understanding from what I know of the investigation, they're all high school age students. Under 18, I would say safe to assume between 14, 15 and up.
Staff Sergeant, are you seeing more of these types of incidents?
Yes, with any technology, as it gets better and more readily accessible, there's ways to use it for bad behavior. So there is an uptake in the reporting and obviously the offending on those platforms using those softwares. It just goes with the advancement of all technology.
And do you think the more artificial intelligence software that's out there for the public to consume or to use for creating things, do you think that is contributing to this spike?
It is across any means, with the fake images, fake stories, fake soundtracks. AI can recreate almost anything, good or bad. And the caveat we always use is not necessarily bad platforms, not bad software, it's bad behavior utilizing those platforms and software.
Okay. Is there anything else you can tell us between the connection between the accused and the victims? Like, were they friends or colleagues or anything like that?
To that part of the investigation, of course, I'm not the primary investigator. I don't know what relationships outside of possibly school can, not knowing them at all. The main issue, again, that the message is when you put an image of yourself on any social media, it's there for people to access and to use without your knowing.
Thank you.
Can you just sort of break down in very simple terms for us what exactly was taking place? We understand they used AI technology, but were they taking those images and altering them? Were those images being used?
To speak, great question. Speak more in a generality. What you would see in this type of offense is, if I was the offender, I would capture the picture I want, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Visco, any website, pull it off, and then I can use software to nudify, which AI will then give a very accurate assessment of your body type, your skin color, and make it near impossible to distinguish nude image with just my face attached.
And this might sound kind of gross, but like, did he have them depicting sexual acts, or was it just the nudity? Not that that's not
sexualized images is probably the safest answer.
I appreciate that you said, you know, teens will think that this is a prank, and it is really very serious. We've talked about this being the most extreme form of bullying. What are the potential consequences for this young person? Well,
obviously, they're facing very serious criminal charges. These matters will be heard in a court of law, and although at the time of the offense they're a young offender, if they don't continue on a better path, this type of history will stay with them as adults. They get second chances as young offenders, but there are ramifications if you don't adjust your behavior as an adult.
Did this teen know the victims who'd been sexualized in the photos personally, or did he just
I
see an
can't,
image?
honestly, I can't speak to that. Obviously, there's thousands of high school students across Alberta, or across Calgary, sorry. It could have been just randomly picking photos off social media or photos of persons he knew.
How was this, how did this come to the attention of CPS?
The ICE team received a tip in October of 2025, and then we executed the search warrant within 4 weeks.
I'm sorry, I might have missed this, but how widely were these images being shared?
The websites and the platforms I'm aware of, and again, speaking in generalities, would have been like Instagram, TikTok, X, Visco, any sharing app. And you can't say locality because they're global entities. If I put my picture on Instagram, somebody in a different part of the world can see it as well. So the locality is just where our victim and offenders were, or victims and offender were.
Sorry, the images or videos that were generated by this person, how widely were those shared?
Across those platforms that I mentioned. Yes.
You can't speak to how many people.
Oh, views and clicks? No, I don't have that information, sorry. Yeah. And
Can you speak to some of the impacts, the effects that this is having on the teen victims in this case?
well, it's going to be a horrible impact. Teenagers are going through probably the most changes in their life with the self-image, body image, social networks, and this is, as I said, the most extreme weaponized version of bullying to a young developing adult child. That is why we are very supportive on the onset and at the back end. Our investigators are now in touch with all the identified persons and their families to offer that support.
All right, you've been listening to Staff Sergeant Marc Auger with the Calgary Police Service and the Alberta Internet Child Exploitation Unit, describing charges that have been laid against a high school student from Alberta in a very 2025 sort of crime where AI was used to create sexualized material that was then shared online. He said they would take photos of other high school students from multiple high schools across the Calgary region, and they were, quote, nudified. The images were sexualized, and then they were shared. A tip came in to Calgary Police and the Alberta Internet Child Exploitation Unit in October. Within 4 weeks, on November 13th, police executed a search warrant at this high school student's home where they confiscated 2 cell phones, a laptop, and a tablet. And now that high school student is facing a number of criminal offenses. Nobody can be named given the fact that all of these people, both the victims and the offender, are underage.